inconsiderate clients, people being unreasonable, no matter how hard you try, they just don't see it? Do you stay up at night feeling bad about it? Sometimes you run into a frustrated seller or a frustrated buyer that blames you. My friends, this happens in this business. One of the things that I've always said to sellers over the years is, and I've taught our agents to say it because it's the God's honest truth, is, us realtors, we get more credit than we deserve when a home sells fast, and we get more blame than we deserve when a home doesn't sell, right? And then when you're working with buyers, you make an offer, you do everything you can with the buyer, and sometimes they just don't get it, or they blame you, and they blame you. Sometimes they buy the home and there ends up being something wrong with the home and they blame you. These things happen. My friends, I did a video probably a year ago. It was a hit right here on Crush It, and I said, the customer is not always right. Guys, well, that happens. It's a fact. They're not, okay? And as long as you're giving your best effort, you have to accept the fact that no matter how hard you try, there are going to be people that are just completely unreasonable. And my message to you today is, don't get down about it. It's one thing to get frustrated. I've done it. I ended up on a call with a seller that was a friend of a friend that was working with one of our top agents about 30, 40 days ago. And this seller I am insistent to speak with Anthony. And I got on the phone with him and pretty much got nowhere. Used all the scripts we have, which are genuine, honest words, to try to tell him what's going on. And he just wasn't hearing it, just being unreasonable. And I'll tell you what bothered me most. What bothered me most is how bad he made our agent feel, because it's one of our top agents in the whole company, one of our best, and it just bothered me for a few hours. And I said, well, what are you going to do? Let's move on. And talking to her days later, and she was still bothered about it. And today I got a text from her saying, had a couple tough sellers in the last few weeks that made me feel bad, but I love receiving something like this. And it was a nice message that she got from a seller that she met with. And I replied and said, oh, that's awesome. Good for you. But the reason I wanted to share this with all of you is, guys, no matter how good you are, no matter how confident you are, no matter how much you know the facts inside out, no matter how much you know the market inside out, you are going to run into sellers and buyers that are just entirely unreasonable. Realtors, attorneys, it happens. It happens in the business. So here's what you do when that happens. You do the best you can explaining, you do the best you can getting them on track, and then you say, you know what, I'm not losing sleep over this, and move on to the next one, because I've seen too many realtors get derailed for days and let that crazy seller or buyer impact them for days on end, and there's just no reason for it. You guys are professionals, you're working hard, and in every single business in the entire world, there are people that are unreasonable. I talked to a big CEO of a big company, someone who was a CEO of a big company, and he said to me one time, Anthony, we called it an allowable level of dissatisfaction. And as long as that allowable level, was 3-4% of all our clients, we were fine with it, and we moved on and we focused. And I just wanted to bring that message to you guys today, because I know that there are realtors out there who really care with their heart, and they, wear their heart on their sleeve. And I don't want you guys losing sleep for days over someone that just doesn't deserve it. So you're probably going to be hearing from me a lot this week. I'll stand up and show you where I am. I am at the Marriott Marquis down in New York City here for the Risk Media CEO event. It's an exclusive event that I was invited to, and I'll actually be on stage participating in tomorrow. So that's all. Just wanted to say hi to you guys and tell you something that I was thinking, because I don't want people losing sleep. Have a good one, and I'll see you more later on this week. Bye.